I would say the best way to tell the stories of the prophets to children is not to read to them from the translations of the books. So if we think about, for example, the most popular book about stories of the prophets that I've seen in English has been the translation of Ibn Kathir's book. And those translations are extremely difficult to read, especially to young children, especially children who grow up in the age of YouTube and TikTok and Snapchat and all of the social media that we have now that makes everything exciting. But I would say the best way to teach the stories of the prophets to children is for you to know the stories yourself and then have conversations with them and tell them the stories in a language that they will understand and in a way that they will understand. And then also think about the lessons that you're supposed to draw from those stories and teach the stories to your children in ways that focus on the lessons that you're meant to learn from those stories. So for example, if you're telling them the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, tell them the entire story and then also focus on the lessons that you can draw from the stories. I have a good friend called Shabir Hassan who wrote a book called 40 Lessons from Surah Yusuf. And from that book, each part of the story, he draws a lesson that goes up to 40 lessons. If you go through that book, for example, with your children, instead of just reading the chapter on the story of Surah Yusuf from Ibn Kathir, they'll learn lessons, they'll be transformed, and they'll also have an exciting time, and you can also have discussions. Something that is also interesting with children, especially the children that we have now in this generation, is that they like to debate, they like to talk, they like to have discussions, they like to express their opinions, they like to hear what you have to say and tell you what they have to say. So if we have, for example, teaching the stories of the prophets in a way where you're telling them the story and then you're saying, okay, what's your opinion on this? What lessons are you drawing from this? What do you think about how, for example, Nabi Yusuf reacted to this, or how Nuh reacted to this, or how Lut reacted to this, etc. All of these things are ways in which you can make the stories more fun, more interesting, more beneficial, and more engaging. And then also looking at the best and juiciest parts of the stories, the exciting parts of the stories, and making sure you trap the kids with those as well, inshallah.